Welcome to another episode of Waves of Wisdom. This is a podcast where we write the current insights, inspiration, and leadership with thought leaders and people with years of wisdom. I'm your host, Iyaz Wahid. Today's episode takes us into the exhilarating space where science meets soul. Joining us is Ayesha Jahan, a Bangladeshi Australian trailblazer, thought leader in neuro leadership, and author of Mindspeed. Aisha is not only a TEDx and international keynote speaker, but also a certified speaking professional and a mentor who helps ambitious professionals build lifestyle aligned businesses by using the science of brain and the intelligence of the heart. Through her pioneering work on Mindspeed, a concept that integrates neuroscience and emotional intelligence for sustainable leadership, Aisha has empowered leaders across continents, especially here in Maldives as well, to reimagine how they show up in their work, their relationships, and their inner world. In this conversation, we will deep dive into the power of brain based leadership, the hidden speed limits of our mind, and how we can all lead with more clarity, compassion, and conviction. Aisha's story is a very amazing story where it touched my heart. And I have known Aisha for many years now. So, as a friend, I'd like to welcome Aisha to the show. Welcome, Aisha, to Waves of Wisdom. It's really an honor to have you here.
It is my honor, yes, and it's been such a pleasure knowing you, having you in a zone where we can, unpack our hidden speed of our mind. Like you said, it's truly very important, and I love the intro. It's so much you have said about me. Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Aisha, your story and starting from, I've not known many people from Bangladesh. I know many people from Bangladesh who works in Maldives, a lot of Bangladeshis, but I have not known a Bangladeshi women who have taken that courage. Your story is really fascinating and amazing. And how your journey really started.
That's a great question. Thank you for recognizing in that way. I would say it was not intentional,
Mhm.
but there was an inner drive I always had that I want to do something by my own. I want to have something by my own. That drove me, and I think that's the reason why God said, "Okay, you want to do something on your own? Okay, let's be in your own and do it by yourself." And eventually it happened, like doing all these things that I'm doing now. When I moved to Australia, it's been more than 10 years now. Then I realized that I have to really get deep into my own strength, so then I was working solely on myself and understanding what I can do, how can I do this, and how to redefine my own mind and reprogram it so that I can look at me and think that yes, I have the capacity, I have the capability, and regardless of the environment, I can do it. And I think that is the drive I had. And then I took one step at a time. I did not know that everything will be connected when I started, but eventually I saw the dots that I can take one after another.
Mhm. Uh, Aisha, at what age you started thinking like this, becoming independent and growing beyond the borders of Bangladesh? Bangladesh has its own challenges, I'm sure. But at what age and why actually you decided?
Okay, so I'm the eldest one. Okay, in my family, we are three sisters, so I'm the eldest one, and that like eldest one always listen no from everybody. And
Mhm.
as a woman in a society with a Muslim background, having a traditional social environment, it's it actually knocked me to think that I don't like it. Like there are social norm, and it has been told that you as a woman, so you have to finish your study, and then you have to get married, and then have to have your kid, and you have to compromise some of your ambition, and you have to take care of your kid, give time to your your social surroundings. So I what I felt like from um, early teenage, I felt like the social norms are uh, is not something I want to carry forward with me. So I used to challenge my belief, and I always used to be doing something differently, uh, so that I can, take my challenge to my next level. I was
Mhm.
challenging myself, like with all this boundary, can I do this? For example, when I join a recitation club, I didn't let my parents know that I have joined the recitation club. Why? Because they will think I'm wasting my time. I would rather go to another teacher and do my tuition to improve my grade, improve my, the marks that I will be getting in my HSC or higher secondary level. But I thought, no, I also love to do the recitation. I also love to do the playing baseball. I also love to do playing handball. So I joined those clubs, and I didn't let them know until when I was the champion and I got the trophy and bought the trophy back in my home, and they get to know that, oh, I've done this, I practice, and now I own the trophy. And then they were very proud and saying, everybody, hey, my daughter have done this. But I saw that I have a tendency to do something that will make me feel good and that will make me feel more empowered. I have that tendency from the very early stage of my life. Like when you are asking the question, I was just literally thinking, when was the first time I really started doing all this thing? So I would say that was the beginning.
Mhm. So actually, I guess you have actually started working on your mind speed actually much
Past
before
year
when you
eight,
wrote
year
the book.
nine.
You wrote
Yeah.
the book Mind Speed, right?
Yes, so I didn't know that, right? That
Yeah,
this will be another reflection of how do I see anybody can
yeah.
excel to the next level.
Wonderful. Actually, what sparked your fascination with the brain and the mind? What was the moment that made you realize that the way we think could reshape the way we live, which you highlighted in your book as well?
This is the phase, like we have as a human, we have different phase of life. Like
Mhm.
when I'm a teenager, I face one kind of challenge. Then when I get into the university, and I was the person who has been told by my teacher, hey Aisha, are you sure you want to be the part of the presentation group, because you cannot speak? So I would rather ask you to sit and help the group, because you're not a speaker. So can you just sit behind and help them changing the slide and help them to do this thing? That moment, like I started thinking, why can't I do it? Why am I so afraid of speaking? Why am I so afraid and my hands get sweaty? Why am I so afraid of public speaking in front of my class?
Mhm.
So I think that any challenge make me feel like, oh, I have to do this. Now I have to do this. So that becomes my goal. And then I think like, why am I thinking everything in this way? Like,
Yeah.
why can't I think in a normal way? My friends are happy. Lots of people are saying no to them. They don't care. They're just living the traditional way they have to be living. But why am I not happy with that? Why do I need to take the challenges? Um, like I started reflecting on my way of thinking and understanding a little bit of the psychology, understanding, the neuro linguistic programming. I used to train in consulting business in back in Bangladesh, that how to reprogram the way we talk, self-talk to ourselves, especially in terms of building a leadership skill. And that was the beginning to think that why do I think like this? What makes me think differently? That was the beginning, I would say.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it, to realize at at any age, or I think that is the starting point of anybody's growth, right? When they realize their limitations and when they start questioning why actually this is happening to me, why when others can do it, why can't I do it? I think you have found that at a quite early age, as you mentioned. Um, Even personally for me, I always keep on questioning, when something happened, and then why it cannot happen. And then I also realize at some point, this is all about our mindset, the way we have been programmed, like you mentioned, and how if we can break through that programming and reprogram our mind in a different way, there's almost we could achieve anything,
Yeah,
isn't it?
that's 100% the way you said.
Yeah.
And we are our own responsibility. Like, it's our responsibility to change our thinking pattern.
Mhm.
It's not the environment, it's not the society, it's not the friends you belong, it's not other people what they're doing, it's not what you see, in social media and other places what other people are doing, but it's more about like, how do I do it?
Mhm.
Whatever they do, am I sticking my focus to what I will be doing it in my way? And that moment, you will see everybody will still like, you are crazy, you are so aggressive, you are so this and that. Are you sure it will be working? Why don't you come with us and hang around and enjoy the way we are doing? And you have
Yeah.
to start saying no to them. That is the dangerous way to deal with other people. Like, they're expecting you to behave in one way and you are behaving in a different way because your expectation of your life's outcome is different than what's their expectation of their life's outcome.
Mhm.
And you cannot, keep having the same input that other people are like having and expecting a different outcome from your life. So at that moment, that becomes very, very scary because you feel isolated. You feel like, I'm not good enough. You feel lonely. You feel all these negative emotion, and but still you have to work on yourself, telling that this the reason why I'm stopping. Is this the version of me um, I'll be proud of in my future? Then you just need to work on yourself. And that's the reason why I say the mind speed is important, because are you dragging your speed to a different direction, or you're leading it to the direction you want to go forward? And it's very hard. It's not that easy. It's very easy to be confused. It's very easy to be distracted. It's very easy to say yes to the people that you love, and the friends that you want to be part with, but it's very hard to stay focused with what exactly you want.
Yeah. I think you're right in this aspect. Is the focus is also very important, and I don't see. I think there's one thing common in you and me, because even when I'm writing on this book, I came up with a, phrase or word of my own, which is called unretirable. We'll talk about later. Um, and you coined this word for your book called Mindspeed. And what does it really mean for you? Technically, intellectually, as well as personally for you.
Like, a lovely question. Um, like, I'm like, you are really a good friend because you know me and you're trying to unpack me, and I'm loving that conversation. So if you look at the word mind speed, so it has the mind and the speed.
Mhm.
And speed is it's a movement, is a motion. And I think the human, as a human, our speed is sometimes depends on our emotion. So that gives us the motion. Okay, if I we all can experience the negative emotion, the anxiety, depression, and the bad feeling, the feeling betrayed or feeling like I'm not good enough. So some feelings are developed by me for me, like I'm not good enough, I don't know anything, everybody is better than me. Some feelings are caused by the people, the environment. Like society will tell you this is not the way, you should do this rather doing this, you should rather focus on a full-time job and be, keep making money and support your family. Why do you need to do something extra over the weekend? Why do you need to as a woman, you should stay home. You shouldn't travel and go to a conference and speak there. So there's
Mhm.
so many way the surrounding tell us to do in a certain way, and we think that that is the normal way, and we tell ourselves, yeah, this is the normal way. Why am I going to that direction? And the outcome is it's causing some level of negative emotion, and that's the motion, that's the speed which we develop, we generate, we cause inside of our mind, and that stop us or keep us in the same place for a long time, they keep us stuck, or
Mhm.
or it can also drive us to achieve a new challenge, achieve a new target, being more curious, to show up more, to do more, to take a different way. If once you fail, then do it in another way. So the
Yes.
speed mind, like how do you program, how do you think, how do you understand yourself, and the speed is more like emotion. So it's a neuroscience, the brain and the emotion together. Always we are just working and acting on as a reflection of that, and that's what I mean by the word mind speed.
Wonderful explanation, Aisha. Uh, Aisha, this concept emphasizes, like you mentioned, about neuroscience to optimize the brain for productivity, and also you talk about reducing stress. From a deep perspective, deep work perspective, how can leaders leverage on specific brain-based techniques like to minimize the cognitive load they have and combat the digital distraction nowadays, of course, everybody is talking about, and sustain the intense, high quality focus, as you mentioned, on their most important tasks in the increasingly fragmented environment where AI, different kind of technologies is keeps on distracting us every day.
The right way you said, like everything is distracting.
Yeah.
So, like, then the question I will ask, do you want to be distracted? Do you enjoy to be distracted? Do you think that if I'm distracted, which means I get too many messages, I receive so many emails, I have lots of phone call to receive, I have lots of meeting back to back. If you say yes to all of them, that means you're welcoming the distraction and you are just not focused. Okay. So I would say, like, if you go to one lane, you can go faster. But if you change the lane,
Yeah.
it will take a longer time for you to reach to the destination. It happens to our brain, but if we want to do one thing at a time, it's much more easier to stay focused and achieve more rather working parallelly in more than one thing. It's a simple thing, but you can ask, like, how can a busy person can deal with the one thing at a time, because they have to deal with many things.
Yeah.
It's even simpler, because you don't I'm not asking you to do all the way, like whole day just focusing on one thing. Just pick the major important thing and stay focused for at least half an hour, 1 hour. That we all can do.
Mhm.
But I will challenge anybody who is listening to, like, do you really stay focused at least 1 hour doing the thing? I mean, mentally, what you're thinking, subconsciously, consciously, what you're thinking, and the way you feel about the work that you're doing. Are you doing the work and still feeling, why did I do this last year? Why did I do this last week? Why this person talked to me like that in last month when we met with this person? Are you still holding all this negative emotion on that moment? And that is dragging you. Every single thing is dragging you. And every single things are knowingly, unknowingly, consciously, subconsciously causing us having that all sort of distraction. And a leader has to know that, like, my attention is my currency. It's like my money that I have in my hand. And wherever I want to put my attention, definitely where attention goes, energy flows, and that is where what we grow. Are
Mhm.
we putting my currency in the right place or not? That might be the question. My attention is my currency. Am I putting my attention on what other people will think? That doesn't matter, because what they will think is up to them, because this is not I will be doing, right? So we hold all this thing all long time, and I think that is the main reason why a lot of people, they stay confused or they become more confused. They share about their confusion with other people. They talk and discuss about the confusion for a long time, and they just remain confused because there is no solution. The conversation is not driving to the solution. Is the conversation is how complex way we can describe our confusion. Is it's So then the question is, when do you stop? Sooner, faster is the better.
Okay. Is there any particular technique or something you teach where people can divert their attention to stay more focused if they want to be not distracted and do some deep work within that 1 hour or so you mentioned? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm personally I'm fascinated with meditation, and I know it's not easy. Not everybody can do the meditation, but if Mel Robbins, she talks about, like, the 5 second rule, 5 4 3 2 1, and the stop and do what you want to do. So
Sure.
you can even do the same thing, and or you can just take a deep breath. This just like counting your finger, 5 4 3 2 1, breathe in, breathe out, and bring your focus back. Like, visualize that you're all focus which are in different places, and you're bringing all them back in you, and then you start working. You will feel visually you're doing it, but you will feel that actually I'm acting like that. I'm becoming a person who is, having all this attention back to me and putting this in the right place.
Mhm.
So that visualization techniques can also help. It's very simple, 5 to 6 seconds, like only deep breathing and just doing it and bringing it together and thinking like, okay, I'll be focusing on this, and let me focus on that and finish. And then when you finish, but how do you sustain that? I would say the reward could help a lot. Like, when you finish anything that okay, I want to stay focused for 1 hour, you tell yourself, you bring your focus, do the work. When you finish it, and then you smile or look at your face or smile, and give a positive appreciation to yourself.
Mhm.
The more we say, oh, you're not good enough, why did you do this again, we say all this negative thing to ourselves very often, but we do not say the positive thing to ourselves very often.
Mm.
But if we practice doing this, it actually trick our brain, because our brain doesn't know whether you're saying it to yourself or somebody else said it to yourself. It just get the dopamine, it just get the reward, and it activates the productivity state of your mind. And
Yeah.
you can trick your brain with that.
Yeah, I think that's a wonderful technique. I even heard Mel Robbins talk about that, and I also thought this a really cool technique to get back. But you mentioned later on focusing and getting the reward. I think that is where the real science of the dopamine is actually flowing, and this is actually actually somebody like me who is from the finance background. I was not very aware of the actually this biological impact on on the psychology of a person. we have all these hormones and stuff like that, right? So even recently, I was listening to a podcast, and it made me realize actually half of our behavior is actually or what we do is actually dictated by our hormones, right? Like, so if we can tap into our positive hormones like dopamine, like you mentioned, I'm sure that that can create a different vibe and energy and things like that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. And you will feel so different. Like if you just put a
Yeah,
pen between your teeth
yeah.
and you're not smiling, you're very sad and you're very upset for some reason. And just put the pen between your teeth and your
Okay.
mouth muscles will feel like you're smiling. And
Uh-huh.
that small change of your muscle will give a signal to your brain saying you're actually smiling, and you'll
Mm.
immediately feel that your mood is changed. So
Oh,
it's
this is
it's a
something I didn't know before. I think it's a simple but must be
it's
very effective
very
technique, right?
simple, but yeah, exactly. And when you change your mood, and imagine just by doing this, and then you enter to a meeting,
Mhm.
in a board meeting, like it's a very heavy discussion, financial decision that you need to take. You can go there light with a light head, and that
Mm.
will allow you to think creatively.
Okay. It's a great tip, I think, Aisha. Um, so coming back to your personal life, I have met your son as well, and you have been kind of like raising him yourself all along, most of the part. And what are your life experiences which actually shape the way um, y- you are leading and practicing now, or what you are teaching now?
Such a beautiful question. It's so fascinating to connect the way I am a professional and the way I connect with my personal life. Uh, Looking at my child, so what I think that I'm the reflection of his mood. Like I want to carry the mood and the environment, and the positiveness, the emotion that I want to bring to him, and I want to see through him, like am I the right reflection or not. So if you just think like I am somebody that I want to see through the lens of my children, then how would you act, how would you behave? And I believe that made me stay with all the challenges that I face. Like I can do it. I don't know how, but I know I can do it. With a lot of like financial decision. The first time I remember, like long time ago, like first time I was investing $15,000. That
Mhm.
time it was a lot of money for me, and I'm like, I have to invest it because I want to learn this. I want to do this course. I have to do this, and I was not sure how do I pay this. And then I finished the course. How do I get the return on investment, and by when? I did not know that, but I know that yeah, if I invest on myself, and I know that I will be able to make it, and I know that will give me in a multiple way, that will give me a better life, that will give me a fulfillment, that will give me more money, because I will be able to offer more services in terms of my profession, and that will give me a better lifestyle for my son.
Mhm.
So when I relate the investment and how many way the return will be paid back, and I relate how that will be reflected and will be given forward to a lifestyle that I want to provide to my son, I want to provide to myself, then I want to work hard.
Mhm.
And beautifully happened, like that was the COVID, and I was like, I have no other thing to do. Like people say, burn your boat and put your all attention into something that you really want to do. And the boat was burned anyway, right? Because this is the COVID and you cannot do anything else. You have to stay home. That means you have to stay longer time in front of your laptop. And I'm like, why don't I invest this time on learning, doing
Okay.
more work, across the time zone, early morning, delivering for the US. mid of the day doing the work for, in Australia, and later part working for Asian country. So across the time zone, I was working, and in between of the weekend and in between of the break, we both are going outside little bit around our home and just enjoying. But I look at that now, sitting here today, I feel like that was very fascinating because I know the meaning of that hard work.
Okay.
So when you know the meaning of your hard work, then it doesn't feel hard because you know the outcome you want to achieve. And it's not only you, it's also your children involved with that. You
Mm.
feel more driven, like you want to really want to do that. You really want to go forward with your highest passion.
Yeah. In fact, COVID is like a blessing in disguise for many people. Even I personally have. I think it actually 10x my growth during COVID, because we were before COVID, like we were always busy with work, running here and there, and things like that, but never had time to invest on ourselves. And then we were forced to stay at home. We cannot go out. There's nothing else doing other than browsing internet and doing something meaningful and adding value to others online as much. So you mentioned about investing in yourself, Aisha. Reflecting back on this, do you believe that the best investment you can somebody can make is actually the investment they can make on themselves now?
And I know the term you said, unretirable. You
Yeah.
anybody Google the term, they will not find it. But it's such a beautiful term, and that's the reason why self-investment is the way to get the maximum return on investment in a cumulative interest rate.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
you put your money in your bank is a 4%, 8% return on investment, and that takes a long time. But if you invest on yourself, there is a guarantee that it will be multiplied, because what you learn today will be multiplied tomorrow and day after and day after. It will be cumulative interest rate you will receive, and 100% all time, full time. I still, that 15K was nothing. And then I had another shocking investment, 65K. And I'm not, that was a very, like, I could not sleep a couple of months, a couple of days. I was thinking, like, was that a really decision I made? It's a big investment. Why did I do this? But I know
Mhm.
that return will be multiplied. Um,
Okay.
so I'm not encouraging everybody to make that big decision of money, but I'm encouraging every single person to invest on themselves. Like, if you say my 30 to 40, this is my key time,
Mhm.
right? This is the best time, key time. And I'm most of the time I'm working, and I am spending time with my son, and very very less connection with my family members or the friends, because they're not very close locationally to me. um, and I spend lots of time on my self investment. And
Yeah.
if you ask me, the title you gave me at the introduction, these are all the outcome of what I have decided 5 years ago.
Exactly. I think
And
actually you said it very beautifully, and even because I used to mentor startup entrepreneurs and people who like to start their business and things like that. And sometimes people can come to me and says, um, "Unfortunately, I have only $100 to invest. If I invest this in the business, it doesn't make sense. If I invest this in an investment fund, it doesn't make sense. Uh, what can I do with it?" I always tell them, invest it in yourself. And $100 is a good amount. You can actually take a short course or buy a book or an online course or something like that, which can actually help us to grow in a way we cannot even imagine, isn't it?
always, always, remember, I don't know whether you read the book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. So there
Exactly.
was a
It's
line.
one of the books which really helped me to turn
Yeah.
around my life. Yes.
And I know you are from finance, and you
Yeah,
don't know my MBA and BBA is from finance as
I
well.
know. Yes.
However, so having said that, it's fascinating to think about money and how does it work and
Yeah.
how do we feel and look at money with the perspective of our mindset towards the money and the social norms that we have built around money, right? So somewhere it mentioned in the book that you buy something that will give more value than what you have invested on. That is the worth something worth buying. Because if I buy a luxury brand, can I get more money out of that? If I can, then go and buy that. But if I buy a book, 100% that knowledge will give me more value than the price I paid for the book, right?
Definitely.
That, like you said, like if you have $100, spend some, buy a book, the knowledge you'll get will multiply in so many way and unlimited time. You
Mhm.
can't even imagine. um like always, always, always. And in Mindspeed I have a formula. It says the time, energy, resources, money and energy has to be less than the return on investment and our return on relationship that we develop in doing the work, our future value, the person after having the knowledge, what I will become, our improvement of the lifestyle, and our personal development. So everything is impacted just because we have used a little bit of resources, and that can give a multiple way. And that's where you have to, like, everybody must invest on themselves.
Yeah, I think that's a beautiful formula, and I know that you also speak about a lot about the psychology of money and things behind it, and you also talk about mind your business, right, Aisha? And so, what is your mission with this to help experts? I think it's about building lifestyle aligned businesses, and how to profit from the purpose. And how does understanding the neuroscience of purpose and emotional intelligence is central to Mindspeed, like you talk about, and it enables leaders not only define their why, but also embedded, I think, so deeply within their own minds and to their organizational, so that it can penetrate to their organizational culture, and it can drive consistent, authentic, and genuinely inspiring the teams. So what is this whole thing about the mind speed to a business and a business leader?
Okay, the term mind your business,
Yeah,
it was like my playful way to remind everybody, hey, you just need to focus on yourself.
yeah.
Okay, and nothing matters. It's you who matters first. Why? Because I just use the mind speed your business, then I cross the speed because the speed will follow if you mind your business. If you
Mm,
have your focus on, if you understand that you have to invest on yourself, if you understand that you have some value and
mhm.
that you can provide to solve other people's problem, and
Yeah,
if you can do this, you can sell it, and that's how you can build your expertise, your knowledge, your experiences, your story as a package that you can serve to others to solve their problem. So that's what I want to teach other people, saying that, yeah, you have everything. Like the term you said, unretirable. Why? Because we have, why the retirement? What is the definition of retirement? Retirement is the stage of life when you, by law, like you finish a contract between a company and you, right?
mhm.
It's nothing. Like it doesn't say that from tomorrow, as you have finished the contract with this company, from tomorrow you'll not be able to work. You
Yeah,
cannot hold a pen. You cannot sit in front of the laptop. It doesn't say like that. It
yeah,
cannot, it doesn't say that from the moment you sign the contract that the retirement is done, it means your all experience, 20 years, 15 years, 10 years experience doesn't have any value. It doesn't say that.
Yeah,
But what
exactly.
happens, the social surrounding, which recognize people by the designation they hold, and they define people's success by the designation they hold, and they define the value as the designation.
Mm. You
But
said it very correctly. Traditionally, actually, retirement is seen as something when you really stop work and then people want to go for relaxation stage of their life or something like that. But I think with and also their status, and this is I think where the psychology really plays an important role, and this is where actually I have to come up with this concept and talk about it, is because a lot of people when it comes to retirement, they purely thinks on the financial aspect of it. If they have enough money to retire where they can stay home doing nothing or traveling around the world, they think it's fine. But when they finish or when they take that retirement package and go home, and after a few days they realize, most of the people start realizing the loss of social belonging, the loss of recognition, and the recognition attached to their status or the job they were doing or the portfolio they were having, like you mentioned. So that is actually why I have to say that we have to think about being unretirable.
100%. I
Yeah.
totally support your movement, and people should start thinking like that.
Yeah.
And I support the word like you use, unretirable. And
Mm.
it's very important because it's about the change of your mindset, the way I see it. Like, do I see myself with my status depends on the company I belong.
Mhm.
If not, then you have more to offer to the world.
Yeah.
Like, then I can develop my own status. Then I can create my own economy. I can offer my own services. I can make a certain channel of cash flow if I know that how to add value to other people's problem. So the financial problem is solved because you can offer your services. Your social status is solved because you now know what way you will be serving other people if you really want to work. If you want to relax, if you have money and if you don't have to think about anything, then that's a different issue. But if
Yeah.
you
There's nothing
want to
wrong with
work,
it.
it's,
Yeah.
it's not related to the work. But the
Yeah.
thing is, like, when you are not working and unhappy, that is a problem. That's what we do not want other people to feel.
Yeah.
If you want to work, you can work. If you want to work, you can produce the work which are more valuable, where people will be ready to pay you more, and you can develop a new identity, new status. You can bring your own cash flow.
Yeah. And today, you don't have to actually travel around the world to add value or do something like that. You can reach to any market, isn't it? You are a
Online,
great example
yes.
of that as well, because I think now almost about 50% of services we actually consume are actually rendered through online means. So this internet has actually open up a great opportunity for us to actually to go borderless, I would say. Yeah.
Totally, and it's the way of like seeing the thing. Like, some people can look at the closed door and think like, oh, the door is closed, I cannot go outside. But some people can look at the other side and they can think, okay, create another door here, and I can go and explore any way I want to. So it's the way we want to see the opportunity. It's not the way other people define what you will be doing or what you are limited by. It's more about the way you can change other people to think. And like I said again, the word you are starting to say, and I support the word so much. Unretirable. Yeah, we retire when you die, honestly, because so that's the time we will be like done. But we are not done until we want to be done, right? So, in terms of if I want to stop working, that is the moment I can stop working. If I enjoy doing the work, early morning, late night, weekend, whenever, that's not the decision a society will define. It's me whether I'm enjoying the work over the weekend, late night, early morning. That will tell me whether I want to do this work in this way, in my way, or not. And that's the ultimate freedom.
Yeah, this is really an interesting conversation, Aisha. Yeah. Now, how since your books and your teachings are concentrating on the mind and the mental health and all these aspects, how important it is for somebody to have that passion, that drive, and identifying that why, so that they can keep going. How important that is for their mental health and well-being, and ensure that their mind is always fresh and young, I would say. Yeah.
Um, it's the self responsibility, and they can take that energy from other sources intentionally, because when we start doing something differently, like I'm very much motivated, I want to do something differently today, I'm doing like 10 hours, but
Mm.
tomorrow in the morning I'm like exhausted again, I start thinking of all the negative thing, again start thinking of I'm not good enough, is it really possible for me, I'm old, I'm exhausted, so start thinking of all the negative thing. So the moment we start, the energy is high, but to continue, the energy is not always high, it will be up and down, up and down.
Mhm.
But when you're down, that is the moment you need to pull yourself, support yourself, look at other people energy. You can have your mentor, you can have a coach, or you can, have somebody that you want to share with, we have a community, like you have in our professional speaking association, we have a community. Are we all doing the same? No, but we all are supporting each other somehow, exchanging our positive energy so that we can get from other people.
Yeah.
But we have to be around with the right people, not those people. Oh, stop doing it, you are retired, you don't have to do it again. It doesn't make any sense. Let's enjoy, let's go and enjoy, and gossip all with all those thing. But do I really want this? Question yourself and pull yourself back, and create an environment that will force you to be disciplined. If you are in an environment where everybody is achieving, everybody is focused, everybody is derived with their own passion, then it will be very less likely to be demotivated. But if you are in an environment, everybody is just relaxed, they don't want to take any accountability, they just enjoy, backlaid lifestyle, then it will be very difficult to stay disciplined.
Yeah, you're very right. It's a matter of finding your purpose and aligning your passion with it, and so you can lead a fulfilling life. I think the fulfillment aspect is very important. Like, yeah, like you said, when the energy is high, people enjoy, but when the energy is low, I think that is the time when people have to reflect and see actually what is their purpose.
They
So
need to reconnect,
yeah,
yes.
that's
Sometimes
very important.
it may take like very frequently reconnecting.
Mhm.
Like your life, like low is more than high, then you just need to keep yourself motivated a little bit more frequently. And if
Yeah,
you think, but when you go to a place where you feel more motivated, then you probably do not need to. Then you may ask the question like, wow, is it so easy to stay motivated? It's not, because Tony Robbins said like we overestimate our long-term goal and underestimate the short-term goal. So we have to start looking at our short-term achievement. Like if you want to do something and you have made a little progress, be happy that you have made a little progress. There are so many people, they even did not do that small part.
yeah.
So every small progress, if we look at the evidence, like, yes, I made this progress, I've made this progress. Yes, I know it's a long way to go, but I haven't go to that direction yet, but I've made little progress. And that has to be the reason or the evidence to stay motivated.
I think that's very important. Um, Actually, another area which I see that you write on your social media, and also somebody from South Asia now living in East Australia, you talk a lot about diversity, inclusion, and women empowerment, and this as well. So how in your work of diversity inclusion, emphasizing on leveraging neuro leadership and emotional intelligence to cultivate inclusive workplaces, from your perspective, how can leaders use brain science to foster deeper empathy, actually, to build psychological safety and create work environments where every individual truly feels the sense of belonging and can genuinely can thrive and move in beyond more, I would say, more, basically they can thrive in the
Mhm.
environment. How can the brain science can really help people to
Yeah,
be more,
great
yeah.
question. Yes. Um, like, I'm Bangladeshi, right? I have an accent. My English is not exactly the way Australians speak that English.
Not
And
Australian, right?
Australia, yeah, I'm not still there. And honestly, I don't want to be there. And I took it as my uniqueness.
You're
So
US.
I think that's how we can start. Like, we just need to say to ourselves, I know I'm different, and that's the beauty we can add to the table.
Mhm.
And if you do not add the unique side of your perspective, your way of thinking, the table remains the same because it doesn't bring any different insights. So that's from me, like, but how other people will create an environment, or how do I create an environment? I would say, if you think about our, uh, like, when we are child, like small children,
Mhm.
they don't think too much about other people. They just become curious.
Yeah.
They don't think the consequences, they don't think about the risk, they don't think like what other people will think. I don't know everything, I'm not senior enough. uh, but they still talk, and they still show interest, they still smile, and they still stay curious. I think being curious is the first thing, I would say.
Yeah.
And when you are curious, it will automatically open up to listen more from other people, to understand from other people, because empathy doesn't mean that I'll be solving your problem. It means I'm here and I'm listening to you. You are safe enough to tell about your problem. I will be listening with you. It's a creating a space for
Mhm.
other people so that they feel safe, right? And it doesn't take anything at all. You do not need to think whether I will be able to solve their problem or not, whether I can, offer any support or not. We do not have to. We just need to have an open space, open mind, to be able to listen to other people. And that small thing can change the whole dynamic. Because the more senior we get, the more tendency we develop to jump into a solution.
Mhm.
So I experienced with every single role play we did with the MBA students overseas, in Australia. We have a tendency to solve other people's problem without asking any question to them.
Mhm.
Like, I know
Without being
everything, I can
curious
solve.
about what
Yeah,
they actually want, right?
exactly. So the missing part is, do they really understand other people?
Mhm.
So that is the missing. Like, if I do not feel I have been listened, I had been understood, I do not feel safe.
Mm.
And the problem you solve me may not be the right problem that you're solving for me, because you don't know what actual problem is.
Yes. Exactly, exactly. And Aisha, your work on women's leadership, and you addresses the balance in work-life balance, and energy, of course, is a big part he talks about. For many leaders, especially women and solo parents like yourself, this balance feels incredibly elusive in today's demand involved. From a neuro perspective, what are the most common brain-based traps or societal pressures? You already talk about some societal pressures as well. That makes this balance so difficult. And what your strategies in Mindspeed can truly empower individuals to reclaim control over their time and energy without sacrificing their ambition, especially working women like you.
Yeah, no, like there's so many things to say.
Yeah,
Um, I would say I'm not against with any society, any religion, or any beliefs people are carrying, but I'm more for what I want to do.
yeah,
Right, so the when I'm against something, that means it's very hard, I have to push. It's such a hard work. You feel that negative energy inside of you when you're against something. But when you think that, regardless, I know this is what I want and I will do it, then
yeah,
it becomes you're paying attention to find the way to do it, rather finding 10 reasons why you shouldn't do it. Because unfortunately, we are the most critical person for ourselves. Like, we judge ourselves a lot.
yeah,
We put a lot of judgment for ourselves, like, will it be right enough, will it be good enough, is it a right decision? We hesitate to make that changes. And especially for the women, um, like, it's not anybody's problem, it's their problem. It's a women's problem. Like, it's a women, they carry what their grandparents, like, has been told, and their mom has been practicing, and they want to carry the same with themselves, and they want to pass this to the children.
mm,
And every generation we have at least 20 years of gap.
yeah,
Like, after my grandparents to my mom, and from my mom to me, is always a 20 years of gap, and from me, my son, is a 20 years of gap. And yeah, probably the social changes or economic development was not very visible last, like, 1900 years. But now, after 2000, is huge. And we cannot visualize what will happen after 20 years from now, because AI is here, right? And
exactly. And that is growing
then
at a speed of like 300% a year.
we cannot visualize what will happen. I
Yeah.
was discussing with one of my colleague, and I was thinking, like, they will not need a driving license, because they don't need a driver. The car will
Mhm.
take them wherever they want to go.
Of
So
course.
imagine, in that society, if I want to pass my belief to them, is it really a viable belief that I want to pass to them?
Mm.
Now, I'm coming back to your question, like, if as a women we want to carry something forward, we want to do, and we want to do something different for ourselves, through the lens of our ambition, through whatever we call, it may not be ambition, ambition might be very bigger what we want to do, but doing something differently, um, do not listen to, all these beliefs, because if you listen to the same thing, and you'll end up with doing the same thing.
Yeah.
It's same equation. The whatever you input, that will be the output. If you do not change the input, the feed, the way we think, it will never give us a different outcome. And that's
Yes.
why we need to check. We need to check the door. Are we changing the input so we process in the right way and we get our right outcome? So
I think
empowerment for men and women, I would say everybody, because the women's side are more spoken and more known. Everybody talk about that. Everybody organize a panel, discuss about the problem women's are facing. But I think men's are also facing a lot of problem. They also have a lot of accountability, additional responsibility. The society expect more from them. This is another burden, and society expect less from women. And when women want to do more, then it's become a question. And when men want to do little less, then it become a question.
as well, yeah.
Both sides, there are some one factor which is causing the imbalance is the social expectation. But we just need to be, this is what we do not want to be. Everything is not my society. So everything is not for me. And if we do not change little bit,
Exactly.
in the same.
If you had a daughter, would you have done anything different raising her up than what you have done raising your son?
I love the question. I would say not very much, but I would check if with her if she has like she's developing anything from outside or from other people that's limiting her to think about her potential or not. Because women are more imposed to think with a limit.
Yes.
Men's are not imposed to think with a limit, right? And I would check if she has a limited thinking. I would say stop that, get rid of that, and think more. Make it bigger,
Think
make it
bigger,
grow.
think big, right?
Make
I
it
think
big.
it's a very eye-opening, even though you said it very simply, this is actually a very eye-opening point because a lot of times we don't think about how much the society can actually limits the beliefs of girls actually, even much before they can think and expect and things like that. Um, Good point to think because I have all girls. So, uh, yes. And since we are coming towards an end of our conversation today as well, Aisha, if you could implant, let me ask this, if you could implant just one brain-based principle into every entrepreneur leader you meet, what could it be and why?
And it's a very cheeky way. But in a simple way, I would say, please mind your business. Not
Yeah.
anything, anybody, any old beliefs matters.
Mhm.
You matters. Your story matters. Your expectation from yourself matters. Not your expectation from your partner. Like, why don't you do this for me? No, not that. Like, why don't I do this for me? You
Mhm.
matter for yourself. Do that first. Everything will align, everything will follow you. And we often, it's easy to look at other people and blame them. Why didn't you do this? Why you have not done this? Why did you talk like that? Stop pointing finger outside. Look at yourself first. So when you uplift yourself, you will start minding your business. You will feel good. You will enjoy. You will have a fulfilling life. You will be happy with what you are. And you will enjoy developing yourself. And when you enjoy developing yourself, you'll be definitely unretirable. Nobody can stop you, right? So I
Exactly.
think the mindset is just mind your business and do the work for yourself.
Mm.
Don't look for the validation outside. Look for the validation, the standard. You set your standard high so that you can reach to that uh, standard. Nobody else has to set the standard for you.
Yeah. It's a very, very eye-opening and important point you have highlighted. Aisha, if you look back at your journey, what is the most hard-earned insight you wish more people truly understand from the beginning of their career, uh, especially about the resilience and the mindfulness which you practice as well? What is that one insight you apart from mind your business? I mean,
Yeah,
from
no,
your reflecting
100%.
on your life, right?
If I look at my life, and if I would rather be more surrounded with people who will support my strength rather pointing my weakness, and not looking at my strength as a threat, rather supporting it for, enhancing it and giving me a little bit of support, and creating a positive environment so that I don't have to hide myself.
Mhm.
I don't have to, um, not telling them, but doing it anyway. I don't have to wait when everybody's sleeping, then I'm studying. I don't have to do that, right? I can do it with an open mind. If I would have, I would say I would rather create that environment. And that's why I'm very mindful about all the parents, I would say, the way
Yeah.
we talk to our children. Am I limiting their thinking or not? Because they're so they're so moldable. Their mind is
Maybe.
such a fresh thing, they're just developing. And if we add a little bit of poison, all this thinking inside of them, that's stopping their potentials. And they have an unlimited challenge in their future, because it's such a big speed, like the movement of the change of the economy, change of everything, change of the environment is such a huge change. They have to face it.
Yeah.
We cannot limit them in their thinking process. And I want everybody to be mindful to think, whether am I changing anybody's thinking process? Am I allowing them to play with their 100% full potential or not? I'm not saying I'm always correct. I am sometimes like a traditional mom, but I also try to check myself not to become that.
Do you catch yourself when you're doing that?
Yeah, I do, and I laugh at myself, and then I just talk to with him, with my son very clearly. I didn't really mean that. Please feel free to do that. I'm concerned about your safety. I'm concerned about that. That's the reason why I made a comment like that. So just
Okay.
clarify, like I'm concerned. Definitely, we are too concerned. Definitely, we want them to stay, safe. That is the first intention, and that's why we say so many things, and they may not understand,
Yeah.
right?
Great, Aisha. What a beautiful way to end our podcast. Is there anything you like to share with our audience, especially with regard to the subject which I am focusing on? You talk about that a lot as well today, or about unretirable. In your mind of it, um, what will be the journey we have to take in terms of becoming unretirable, and how important it is to become to be unretirable, especially at later years of our life?
Beautifully said, yes. And you are somebody from finance background, and when people are thinking of retirement, the number one concern is about the money and the financial safety, financial certainty, right? And then the question may come, then how do I become unretirable? How do I keep earning the money, the cash flow? How do I do that? How do I bring the certainty to my family? Because I have a responsibility to do that. And if I have the responsibility, that means I cannot go forward to drive my ambition. Everybody's talking and doing, going to the motivational speaking, and that's not enough. That's not paying my bills. I would say, if you are if you're not retired now, if you're doing a job, if you are in a full-time job, if you have a 52 weeks a year, and every 52 weeks you have a 2 days weekend, And if you have some annual leave, you can take some of the time out of that and start investing in yourself so that gradually, eventually, nothing can help you but becoming unretirable, because over the time you will develop yourself. When you finish your contract with your workplace, you will become another version, like another company. Like you will become somebody that will add value and people will pay for your service. So start now. You don't wait till the day when you sign the retirement contract. You do not wait for that moment. Start investing on yourself now. Build and go and surround yourself with a community, with the right people. Learn from them. Stay positive, like stay motivated so that you can slowly invest some time, some energy, and some money that will definitely give you an outcome. There is no question you will not receive any outcome by the time when you will become unretirable, and that has to be unretirable. And I
Thank you,
think this is
Aisha.
the future, yes.
Yes, thank you, thank you. You beautifully explained. Even I think this is even how I came up this word, and how I started thinking about reflecting back on my own journey was actually similar. I started investing during my weekends, during my off time, during my annual holidays. Traveling abroad, and I think even when we met in Bali for the Global Speakers Conference last year, actually, I was taking my annual leave and combining it together with the Global Speakers Summit. Thank you very much for being on my show, Aisha. You have added a lot of value to our audience, and you are. I wish all the best for your work which you are doing, and I'm sure you're going to be one of the examples of unretirable persons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I full heartedly support the movement that you have started, and let's become unretirable.
Thank you. And for our viewers, don't forget to be unretirable, and don't forget to be mindful about your daily life, and don't forget to invest in yourself, like Aisha has mentioned in this episode. And until we come back again, don't forget to ride the waves of wisdom.